it's me, and today I'm reading Roald Dahl, the Giraffe, the Pelly, and Me. Not far from where I live, there is a queer old empty wooden house standing all by itself on the side of the road. I long to explore inside of it, but the door is always locked, and when I peer through a window, all I can see is darkness and dust. I know the ground floor once used to be a shop. I can still read the faded letters across the front, which says the Grubber. My mother told me that in our part of the country in the olden days, a grubber was another name for a sweet shop. And now every time I look at it, I think to myself, what a lovely old sweet shop it would have been. On the shop window itself, somebody has painted in white the words "for sale." One morning I noticed that "for sale" has been scrapped off the shop window, and in its place somebody has painted "sold." I stood there staring at the new writing and wishing like mad that it had been me who bought it, because then I would have been able to make it into a grubber all over again. I would have longed to own a sweet shop. The sweet shop of my dreams would be loaded from top to bottom with sherbet suckers and caramel fudge and Russian toffee and sugar starters and butterballs and like that. Oh boy, what couldn't have done with that old grubber shop if it had been mine. On my next visit to the grubber, I was standing across the road gazing at the wonderful old building when suddenly an enormous bathtub came sailing out through one of the second floor, right onto the middle of the road. A few moments later, a white porcelain lavatory pan with the wooden seat still on it came flying out of the same window and landed with a wonderful splintering crash just beside the bathtub. This was followed by a kitchen sink, an empty cannery cage, and a 4-poster bed, and 2 hot water bottles, and a rocking horse, and a sewing machine, and goodness knows what else besides. It looked as though some madman was ripping out the whole inside of the house, because now pieces of staircase and bits of the banisters and a whole lot of floor bands came whistling through the windows. Then there was silence. I waited and waited, but not another sound came from within the building. I crossed the road and stood right under the windows and called out, "Is anybody at home?" There was no answer. In the end, it began to get so dark that I had to run away and start walking home. But you can bet your life was going to stop me from hurrying. Back there again tomorrow morning to see what the next surprise was going to be. When I got back to the Grubber house the next morning, the first thing I noticed was the new door. The dirty old brown door has been taken out and replaced, and in its place someone had fitted a brand new red one. The new door was fantastic. It was twice as high as the other one had been, and it looked ridiculous. I couldn't begin to imagine who would want a tremendous tall door like that. in his house unless it was a giant. I'm trying to find where I was. As well as this, somebody had scrapped away the sold notice on the shop window, and now there was a whole lot of different writing all over the glass. I stood there reading it and trying to figure out what it all meant. It says, "The ladderless window cleaning company. Get your windows cleaned without a lot of dirty ladders leaning against your house." I tried to catch some sign or sound of movement. Inside the house there was none until all of a sudden, out of the corner of my eye, I noticed that one of the windows on the top floor was slowly beginning to open outwards. Then a head appeared at the open window. I stared at the head. The head stared back at me with big, round, dark eyes. I knew what this one was because of its amazing beak, which had shaped like a huge orange-colored basin. The pelican looked down at me and sang out, "Oh, how I wish for a big fat fish. I'm hungry as ever could be, and a dish of fish is my only wish. How far are we from the sea?" "We are long from the sea," I called back to him, but there is a fishmonger in the village not far away." "A fish what?" "A fishmonger." Now what on earth could that be?" asked the pelican. "I heard of a fish pie and a fish cake and a fish finger, but I never heard of a fishmonger. Are these mongers good to eat?" This question baffled me a bit, so I said, Who is your friend in the next window?" "She is the giraffe," the pelican answered. "Is she not wonderful? Her legs are on the ground floor, and her head is looking at the top window." As if all this wasn't good enough, the window on the top floor was now flung wide open, and out popped a monkey. The monkey stood in the window still and did a little jiggly little dance. He was so skinny, he seemed to be the only one made out of furry bits of wire, but he danced wonderfully well, and I clapped and cheered him and a little bit of a dance myself in return. We are the window cleaners," sang out the monkey. "We will polish your glass till it's shining like brass and the sparkles like sun on the sea. We are quick and polite. We will come day or night, the giraffe, the pelly, and me. We're a fabulous crew. We know just what to do, and we never stop work to drink tea. All your windows will glow when we give them a go, the giraffe, the pelly, and me. We use water and soap, plus some kindness and hope, but we never use ladders. Not we. Who needs ladders at all when you're 30 feet tall? Not giraffe, and not pelly, and not me." I stood there enthralled. Then I heard the giraffe saying to the pelican in the next window, "Pelly, my dear, be so good as to fly down and bring that small person up here to talk to us." At once Pelican spread his huge white wings and flew down onto the road beside me. "Hop in," he said, opening his enormous beak. I sat at the great orange beak and backed away. "Go on," said the monkey, shouted from up in his window. "The pelly isn't going to swallow you. Climb in." I said to the pelican, I'll only get in if you promise not to shut your beak once I'm inside." "You have nothing to fear," cried the pelican. And let me tell you why. I have a very special beak, and a special beak you'll never see a beak so fine, I don't care where you go. There's magic in this beak of mine. Hop in and don't say no. I will not hop in, I said, unless you swear on your honor you won't shut it once I'm inside. I don't like small dark places. When I have done what I'm just about to do, said the pelican, I won't be able to shut it. You don't seem to understand how my beak works. Show me, I said. Watch this, cried the pelican. I watched in amazement as the top half of the top half of the pelican's beak began to slide smoothly backwards into the head until the whole thing was almost out of sight. It bends and goes down inside the back of my neck, cried the pelican. That's not sensible, is it? Not magical. It's unbelievable, I said. That's exactly like one of those metal tape measurers my father got at home. When it's out straight, when you slide it back in, it bends and disappears. Precisely, said the pelican. You see, the top half is of no use to me unless I'm chewing fish. The bottom half is what counts, my lad. The bottom half of this is glorious beak of mine. Mine is the bucket in which we carry our window cleaning water, so if I didn't slide the top half away, I'd be standing around all day long holding it open. So I slide it away for the rest of my day. Even so, I'm still able to speak, and wherever I've flown, I has always been known as the pelican's patent beak. If I want to eat fish, that's my favorite dish. All I want to do is give it a tweak. In the blink of an eye, out it pops and they cry, and it's the pelican's patented beak. Stop showing off down there, shouted the monkey from the upstairs window. Hurry up and bring the... Alright, I gotta go. I'm just gonna put a marker on where we are because it's just a new chapter. So I'm gonna put a marker on where we were and I'll finish it tomorrow. Peace.